Oh, you are way more fun than my last lawyer. I will kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion. Dial it back.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. There's a new bully, host Leroy, aka Axel Foley, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is This is Eli, aka the Token Dwarf.
Don't worry, we will fix it in post. Oh, we're live. Never mind. Yeah, and we're back with the episode. Let everybody know we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and soon coming to Truth Social. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. So yes, like I said, it's a slow week. Technically, in comic book land, this is like the fifth week, and the fifth week is always shit. So we just had to scrounge up some shit we can talk about. So I guess we just talk about stuff we just want to talk about. For one thing, Eli, I just happened to just look at the news, and Jackson was all over the news. And I was like, what the fuck? Well, actually, I didn't even look at the news. People kept calling me all of a sudden saying they saw Jackson in the news. And I guess we could just start off with that first. Because it was a thing that happened this week in Jackson. Like I said, you've been hearing on the national news. I've been getting alerts from Time Magazine and, people and all stuff like that. I've just been seeing Jackson in the news. And I just feel like I feel like we should talk about it. Since this has been a thing that's been in the news. And since I'm just on the ground level, like what you talked about, where some shit went down in, your town. So, because I can do the same. Yeah. So, basically, what I want to do is talk about, like I said, I actually haven't seen any news articles. It's just my point of view, what's been happening for this last week. So, like I said, the week before, for like 4 or 5 days straight, it's been raining in Jackson or Mississippi or in the South, pretty much like constantly, nonstop. And then eventually, like, we got reservoirs that are like close to Jackson, outside of Jackson. It's just some low areas in Jackson. They were flooded. And then the reservoir flowed over and it caused some issues. Caused some issue with the water. Now, as far as the water issues in Jackson, this has been something that's been happening for like 25 years. This is not something new. It's been happening for the last 25 years. Every now and then we get a boil water notice and you can't do this and can't do that. Now, keep in mind when I say Jackson, I'm not talking about Mississippi. I mean Jackson. When I said people were calling, asking what was going on, like my mom was calling. My mom lives in Vicksburg. She's 30 minutes away, calling me what the hell is going on 30 minutes away because they're fine. But Jackson is an issue. So why is Jackson having these issues? People have their theories, upper management, local government, things like that. Maybe something the capital of Mississippi happens to be 82% black. Maybe that has something to do with it. Where all the surrounding areas around it have no issues with these same problems. Maybe that's the issue. I'm not pointing fingers, but those are things you do have to look at, because notice that, well, you didn't notice it, but I noticed that, okay, I had low water pressure. Other people had no water pressure, but all of a sudden when it started making national news and people talking about how Jackson was this and Jackson that, and then people start coming down on the governor, not the mayor of Jackson, the governor of Mississippi. So the governor has no problem making Jackson look stupid, but he has a problem with everybody associate Jackson, Mississippi, because a lot of times people in Mississippi don't associate Jackson with them. Oh, I'm not from Jackson. I'm from Brandon. I'm from Madison. I'm from Ridgeland. I'm from whatever. So when they start lumping Jackson's problems and the Mississippi problems, all of a sudden, boom, the next day, the water came back on. Ooh, the water pressure is fine. Oh, the water is okay to do whatever with. Okay, so why were these problems not fixed before then? Why are we still constantly having these conversations over and over again? So, like I said, it's an issue. It's going to continue to be an issue. We are fine now. Jackson has pulled together. I just want to let you know that we have water. They've been giving away free water all over town. Actually, a nice lady today gave me this water. She gave me like 2 cases of water because she got it from like downtown in South Jackson. She was like, hey, I got 2 cases. You want some? I'm like, cool, I get some. So
Well, that's cool.
yeah. So I mean, like if they're just giving away free water, even though I have water pressure, I mean, they're giving away free water. Shit, I'm gonna take free water. Why not? So that's my only thing. It
sounds like the res, like my res.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You turn on the tap water, it smells like fucking eggs, man. It smells like
Well,
somebody.
and that's the problem, because people did say there was an issue, like in the res, like in Flint, like in Jackson, like I said, in overpopulated areas with, all around suntan, you're going to have issues like this because people don't want to put money into those. Even though the local government asks for money, they're not going to put money into it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like we basically lived off of Gabe's in the house.
Yeah, what up, Gabe?
Yeah. But yeah, we had the Culligan water jug things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had when went out to the res and shit. But yeah,
So-
it's a problem, especially nowadays. I mean, we live on a planet that's like covered in water, yet there's water shortages and shit.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, water is one of the most valuable resources on the planet. Most people don't even know the plot of the James Bond movie Quantum of Solace. The whole thing they were going after was water, because they were in Bolivia and nobody get their hands on water. That's what the bad guy was trying to get. So yeah, water is a commodity. Water is a valuable substance. That's why they use that to kind of control the state of Jackson. So I mean, the city of Jackson. But yes,
Mad Max Fury Road. I mean,
it's a thing. That's how it all started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is this:
Dune.
I'm glad everybody is Dune. Yeah, the spice must flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
We basically turned Jackson into Dune. Okay, now we thinking about that. So my thing is this: like I said, I'm appreciating everybody, bringing attention to Jackson and nationally bringing to Jackson. This is actually not a new thing with us. This has been a thing, and it probably will pop up later on. He said we won't get national news with it, but since everybody does have national news going on with Mississippi right now, what I want everybody to do is pay attention. Why the hell nobody has done anything about Ted DiBiase and Brett Favre stealing $70 million from the Jackson from the Mississippi government, and nobody's saying anything about it. Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man,
the wrestler,
wrestler. Yes, he's from Mississippi, and Brett Favre, yes, the football player from Mississippi. They are in a organized crime scheme where they have stolen $70 million. Nobody has done anything about it. It was a news article and it just went away. So if you want to do something to help Mississippi, get on their ass. Find out something about that. So since people bring about news, because Jackson's going to be okay. This is the problem we've been dealing with. We're going to be okay. So, yeah, let's lighten the mood up. See, that's why I'm glad, Eli, you saved me last week, because you saved me from a rant last week when you did that Riverdale about that redhead chick with the ass. I'm glad you did it, because I was gonna go on a rant last week, but I'm glad we did that. So let's talk about something. Oh, one more thing. Not a Jackson thing, but just everybody don't drink rainwater anymore. I know we all did it as kids. You can't do it anymore because apparently the rainwater now has so many chemicals in it that it could kill you. So yeah.
Well, yeah, you can filter it though. Like they made rainwater collecting illegal in like parts of our state,
really,
which is stupid. I think it's you're not allowed to collect rainwater. Again, one of a natural resource. You're not
right.
For some reason you're not allowed to collect it. But I mean that's like some of the things like when you hear like California and Arizona and all these places that have water shortages. They tell people don't water your lawns, don't fill up your pools, and blah, 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 blah. Don't take showers for longer than however minutes or whatever.
Right.
It's like we live in all these other states could be collecting rain. They should pay people to collect rainwater and ship it to
right. But
some
filter
of
it
these
first, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
filter it, yeah.
But you can boil it. You can boil it. But you know how we used to do as kids? We just go outside, open them out. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that.
Catching snowflakes. Oh, you guys
right
do that, huh?
On your tip of your tongue. Don't do that anymore. Because it's too many chemicals in the water now. Like they actually was safe when we were younger, like in the 80s and stuff like that. It was fine then. But
acid rain is a thing.
Yeah, don't do it. Do not do it. Yeah. All right. So I think we talked about enough about rain and water, and why are we having this conversation about water being a shortage? When I don't know. Let's move on. Let's talk about some geeky shit. Let's talk about some nerdy geeky shit. Have fun, not this political stuff. Let's talk about some.
Speaking of nerdy geeky shit, I'm getting ready to move. I have a month. I have 30 days to get out of my humble abode that you see here.
That's geeky. Okay.
Well, I was going through my collectibles that I've had stored in the garage for the past 5 years, all covered in mouse shit. So,
how long have you been down there?
Like I said, 5 years. I've had like a lot of like Star Wars toys and just all kinds of collectibles and stuff in boxes in my garage stored there. And I was like, I went and got some because I knew this. I've seen like the mouse situation out there before. I was like, oh, my shit's gonna be fucking like just filthy. So I went out there with some wipes and some spray. I had my mask on, and I got some plastic totes, to transfer shit. It was worse than I thought. Those motherfuckers were like chewing through unopened boxes and shit.
Oh,
and
damn.
just getting it everything. Yeah, my Millennium Falcon cockpit had mouse turds in it. So I was like, fuck it. I threw away, yes, this might sound horrible and tragic. I threw away a ton of fucking collectibles.
You know what? Now I got to put a disclaimer up just in case if Gomer hears this. You're going to give him a heart attack if he hears this.
There's, hey, anybody's interested? I know tomorrow is a Labor Day, so the trash ain't coming. They're in my... You got a day to sift through my
just
trash.
brush off the rat shit, and and then...
Yeah, you want to soak that shit and fuck up the stickers and the decals and all that shit. That's what I thought about. I could soak this shit, but then the stickers are gonna come off. And
right,
this is too much work.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna do this shit. And it just
let somebody else worry about it.
Yeah, and it gives me an excuse to just get some more. And and the way I figured it, if it's been sitting in my garage for the past 5 years, I don't really need it. Less shit to move. So I did salvage some stuff, but like a Millennium Falcon, a Darth Vader helmet, a Stormtrooper Halloween helmet, tons of like loose figures, all in the trash. Like fuck this shit. I ain't washing all that shit.
So, all right. Now let's talk about some fun shit. Let's talk about some.
Yeah.
Hold up, we got another one.
Oh,
don't worry, we're gonna talk about fun shit the rest of the show. We just had to get that out the way first. That's all.
We got Doom in
Eli, what should? That sounds like a stalker. What's up, Jake?
What's
we know what's going on. First thing here.
Oh, is that Jake or Frank? Who is that? Jake? Facebook user?
Jake is Facebook user. Dr. Doom, I don't know who Dr.
Jake.
Doom is, but shout out to Dr. Doom. I know what's going on. First thing here. Rat shit, yeah. All right, fun shit. Let's talk about fun shit. Let's talk about National Cinema Day. Eli, did you partake?
I did not. I had no one to watch my kid. But you know what?
Okay.
I got an AMC Stubs membership. So $20 a month, I can see like 12 movies a month. So it's always National Cinema Day for me.
Yeah, so that's still a thing. I mean, like I said, the cinema is trying to get people back in the theaters because the week before this was the worst cinema week of 2022. Like nobody went to the theaters other than you, to see an Idris Elba movie. He had 2 movies in the theaters and they both flopped. Like, damn, somebody help this guy out. But anyway, this week we had new movies. Eli, I don't have the graphic up. What was the number 1 movie of this week? I want you to see if you can guess.
Oh, the number 1 movie this week? Is it Dragon Ball again?
No. But I should have went to see that shit. Now you tell me. But when Dragon Ball? Nicole making movie magic happens. Huh?
Oh, she does those commercials for the
oh,
MC
okay.
commercials.
Okay. I didn't see that. I'll tell you. Spider-Man.
Which one?
No Way Home.
Oh, is it back in theaters?
Yeah, they were back in theaters just this week. They released 11 more minutes of footage.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Did they really?
No. That's what they said. I didn't see it, but that's what they said.
I remember when they re-released Endgame with like extra footage and shit, and I went and saw it just to see it.
Like shitty Hulk CGI. And
I went to go see it, and they didn't have anything when I saw it.
Well, it was like a after credit scene.
Yeah, I waited the whole thing.
Up.
I had waited through the whole fucking movie.
I didn't even go to see it, but people said it. They said it was, but it was like it was a rip. Like it wasn't shit you need to see anyway. So yeah. What 11 minutes? Yeah, what I think it was 11 minutes of like the part with all 3 Peters were talking and just bonding like on the Statue of Liberty. I think that scene was just longer. I think that's all.
More banter or whatever.
Yeah. That's all it was. I think that's all it was. So it wasn't like another action scene or shit like that. I think that's all it was. So yeah. Trying to think what else. Yeah, like I said, if I thought about it, I would have went to see Dragon Ball, but I can go see Dragon Ball. I mean, what? $3 not gonna kill me. I can go see it for more than $3. But yeah. Yeah, that being said, okay, we can move on past that. Eli, I guess we saw a TV show. You saw a TV show.
Yeah.
And I think I may have seen it also. But I'm gonna let you talk about it. I think I saw it. But I don't know if I did or not, but I'm gonna let you talk about it. We're gonna go for this. So we're gonna talk about the big thing that happened this week. Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power, that debuted on Amazon Prime, dropped 2 episodes on Amazon Prime. So if you got a chance to watch it, there you go. You can watch it. We can see what we got from there. So Eli, what you think about it?
I kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. I was a little confused at first. See, I'm familiar with Lord of the Rings. I'm not an expert. I'm not like a token scholar or anything.
You dabble. You dabble.
Yeah, yes, I'm aware. I was a little kid. You remember the Lord of the Rings cartoons, the Ralph Bakshi cartoons and shit? I
never finished those cartoons, but yeah.
I saw that shit in the theater as a kid. So I was always, I was really into The Hobbit. The Hobbit's my favorite one,
Mm-hmm.
But Return of the King, Lord of the Rings, those cartoons, I kind of grew up on them. So yeah, I've always been aware of them. And then eventually I read the books and stuff, or just The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I have never read the Silmarillion or whatever it's called. But I am aware. I'm not deep, but I can get down with Lord of the Rings, especially metal. Being a metalhead, there's tons of bands that are either named after Lord of the Rings characters. Morgoth, Amada Marth is like the elf language for Mount Doom, like, Mama Kill, and there's tons of Led Zeppelin wrote a bunch of songs about Lord of the Rings and shit. So it's just been in the zeitgeist. I've absorbed it through osmosis,
Okay, so at least you got a frame of reference watching the show. Okay,
yes. Right. So yeah, I was a little skeptical on this, but in the first episode, I was a little confused of what was actually happening. I wasn't sure of what time frame it was because I'm not that big into the lore. I didn't know, when is this happening? And what I guess there's the first age and the second age and the third age. Well, the Frodo and all that takes place in the third age, and all this shit. But this takes place in the second age, which I guess has never been written about really. Just to like in reference in appendixes and other books. There's never been an actual Tolkien never actually wrote books about the second age. It's just
so it gives them wiggle room to kind of do what they want to do.
Yeah,
I guess.
So and that I was like a little confused. I wasn't sure what was going on, but by the second episode, I was like, I'm into it. I was pretty stoked, and I was into it. I think I'm on board.
All right. Can I give my review?
Sure.
I don't know if I should. Okay, like I said, you have a frame of reference. You understand, like if they say something, you're like, okay, I get that. Mm-hmm. I don't. I did watch the movies, and honestly, the trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I love those trilogies. Honestly, I put them on the same level as like the OG Star Wars trilogy. Like they wasn't what to me, but I like them as a movie, as a cinephile. I don't mean to say like I fuck movies and like that, but like that. Like I like the special effects, the storyline, the acting, the costumes, the art of it, the soundtrack. I like it for that, for the movie.
Cinematic expression. Yes.
Right. Yeah. But as far as the lore, I never gave a shit about the Lord of the Rings. So like, I mean, the cool shit happened in those movies and I liked it, but I never really cared about going deeper into it than that.
Yeah.
So when this movie came out, I have no frame of reference. I don't know who was who. I don't know what is what. I was confused on who's the protagonist. I don't even know who I'm supposed to be following. I'm like, I'm supposed to be following her, him, what the fuck? Who are these people? Apparently, some of these people were in the old movie. I think one guy's playing like Hugo Weaving's character.
Yeah,
I guess.
That's the only two characters. Galadriel, who was played by Kate. What's her name? Hela. What's her name?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that, Jay. I got no spoilers for you. I got nothing for you.
Hela. What's her name? Kate. What's her Kate?
Kate Blanchett.
Blanchett. I wanted to say Katie Holmes.
Did I say it right? No, not 2 episodes I can do so far. So yeah, that's my thing. So honestly, Eli, here's the thing. I worked 10 hours, for the last 2 days. So when I I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna watch it. Fell asleep. Knocked the fuck out, man. Didn't get a chance to watch anything. Let me try it again. Worked 10 more hours. Went home. Try to watch again. Fell the fuck asleep again. I'm like, so whatever it is about this show, it just knocks me out. It's the cure for insomnia. I don't know what it is. But but to be fair, I was tired. So I didn't get a chance to like, okay, I'm gonna just really invest myself in it. I was like, I'm gonna just cut it on and whatever. And I was out like 10 minutes because I didn't know what the hell was going on anyway. So nothing like caught me to make me stay on anyway. But that's just me.
And you have admitted that you're not into wizards and warlocks and swords and dragons.
Not my thing. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're not into fantasy like that type of shit, then yeah, I get it. You're not, this ain't your thing. Yeah.
Now I will say this: the show from the 5 minutes I watched it, it was beautiful. This shit looked beautiful, man. It's like one of the prettiest TV shows I've ever seen. I'm like, this shit should have been in the movies. I actually, even though I'm not into this stuff, I would have paid money to go see this.
Oh yeah,
just
Amazon,
to see it. Yeah,
sparing no expense. Yeah, it's space rockets and Lord of the Rings. That's what they're blowing their money on.
Right? Because the money is on the screen. I'm like, whoa, like the sweeping cinema and the scenery and stuff like that. I was like, oh my goodness, this is beautiful.
Like that big sea monster and shit. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
I didn't make it that far. But...
Oh yeah, there's a sea monster at one point.
See, that's what I'm saying. If I make it to the sea monster, I'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have fallen asleep on this. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it when I have a day off and I can sit there and concentrate on it. Yeah. And then I'm gonna try to get into it.
And that's the thing. The first episode, I was a little confused because I was not sure who. Okay, this is young Galadriel. Okay, that's young Elrond. But then they're talking about Morgoth, which is like the first age villain, but then he was dead, so they're after Sauron, but then Sauron didn't make the rings yet. So I'm like, okay, what's you know what I mean? That's what I was getting confused. Like, where are we at? But as I kept watching, I'm like, okay, I started getting into it. Things started to make sense. And once the dwarves showed up in episode 2, I'm like, I'm hooked because I love the dwarves. Like I said, back to The Hobbit. The Hobbit's always been my favorite story out of the Lord of the Rings series. Just because it's a simple adventure. Bilbo and the dwarves go off to go fight the dragon and shit, and fight Smaug. It's a simple adventure story, and that's always been my thing. That's always my favorite one. Watching those cartoons as a kid, that was my favorite. Because I remember when Peter Jackson's movies first got released, and I had like watched Lord of the Rings shit since I was like a kid. But when those movies first got released, I went and saw The Fellowship, and I came out of the theater going, "Where the fuck was the dragon?"
Right.
Like, what the fuck was that? Where's the dragon? Wasn't the dragon? And my roommate, who's like a big, he was a big D&D nerd and shit. He was like, "No, that's The Hobbit." I'm like, "Yeah, wasn't The Hobbit the first one?" He's like, "No, this is the Lord of the Rings." "Yeah, but isn't The Hobbit the first one?" And then he had to explain to me, "No, the Hobbit is one story. The Lord of the Rings is another story that consists of 3 parts." And the Fellowship,
but the Hobbit did come first. I remember that.
The Hobbit was the very first Tolkien book. Yes, so that's what I was going by the cartoons. There's the Hobbit, then the Lord of the Rings, and then the Return of the King.
See, so that's Eli, I feel like you're out culturing me right now. You actually like literature. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here. I can't get in Lord of the Rings, but I can get in the fucking Moon Knight or some shit. Like it's not the same thing. But it's the same thing. Just like when people say, like, you got real cinema and you got these Marvel movies. It's like you got literature and you got these fucking comic books movies. You got Batman and Superman, stuff like that. Not on the same level, but like I said, I'm gonna try to get into it again. I'm pretty sure it's something I missed. So
because I've always I mean, like I said, once I was like with you, I wasn't sure what was happening in the first episode, but once the dwarves showed up, like I said, that's when I was hooked. That's when I was like, okay, because like I said, I always liked the dwarves. While you're on TV shows, I'm watching season 8 of Flash, and the show's ending.
Oh no, I'm not down for a Bart Norris show. When that shit ends, let it end. Let it die. Be done with it.
I haven't watched Flash in like a good 5 years either.
Those his kids. His kids pop up like every other episode now. Even though they swore they're not supposed to fuck with the timeline back in like season 4, now they just like fuck it. They'll just pop over just to visit. Hey, how y'all doing? Like, even though they don't give a fuck about the timeline anymore. They just that's Flash for you. Back to Lord of the Rings, like once the dwarves showed up, then I got a bit of a frame of reference. I was like, okay, this is the old alliance that the dwarves and elves had with each other, because Elrond used to the elves and the dwarves used to be cool with each other before the betrayal that happened in The Hobbit, and that's when I started really like understanding what was happening. That's when I started to get into it, because the dwarves are my favorite. Out of all the beings in Middle Earth, between the men and the dwarves and the elves, I always thought the dwarves were the coolest because they're brutal. And that was my thing with
the Peter Jackson movies. Like Gimli, the dwarf, he was always like played as comic relief, and I was
Right.
always kind of irked me because he's actually really brutal and badass, you know. And in the video game, if you play the video game, he's totally powerful in the video game. And then in the Hobbit, because the dwarves are in the Hobbit, they're like the main characters in the Hobbit. And the Hobbit was always my favorite because the dwarves are like brutal and badass. They're kind of like Vikings. And everyone loves the elves because they do all these tricks and they're
pretty and beautiful
the elves are all pretty and foofy and like fucking fancy and magical, and they're like vegan hipsters. And then the dwarves are like fucking metal, they're all brutal. They're like barbarians. They're Vikings. They're barbarians, So once the dwarves showed up, I was into it. And then the whole thing with the orc digging under the ground, like, okay, I think I know what's happening. There's some sort of darkness happening because the cow, I don't know if you noticed the cow. Yeah, dwarves make dope shit. Yeah, they're in the mountains carving temples and kingdoms inside mountains and shit. But yeah, there was like a darkness that's happening. Some, the cows and the animals are eating that poison grass, and the cows like giving black milk and shit, which is similar to what was happening in The Hobbit, where the animals were, there's a shadow had come over the land, and it was affecting the animals first, and I think it's the early signs of, I think, Sauron's influence, so that's what I got. I mean, there's not much. I think this is going to be a slow burn as far as like, because what I understand is like a lot of those characters from those Lord of the Rings movies are not in this, but they still have some free reign. Like that guy who fell from the sky, everyone theorizes that's probably Gandalf, and it probably is, but he's not referred to as Gandalf back then, so he's going to have another name.
Okay.
Because Gandalf there's been several incarnations of Gandalf. Like even in the Peter Jackson's movies, when he falls into the pit and then comes back as Gandalf the White.
Gandalf the White, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh yes, Gandalf. That's what they used to call me, So, but yeah, I was into it. I actually had a good time with it, especially by episode 2. I'm like, I think I like this show, and
interesting. I never knew you were a tokenite. Is that a word or?
I didn't think so either. Like I said, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of how many episodes. I guess it's 10 episodes. But I guess they're supposed to go for 5 seasons. So that's a little worrying if no one likes this shit, especially if people are bitching about, black people and brown people being elves and dwarves and shit, and it being woke and these Hobbit people. Well, that's the thing.
They've turned off the critic reviews on IMDb because of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's I had no, like, we've talked about this before, but it's fantasy. It's not accurate. It's not, everyone want to bitch about culturally accurate and shit. This is
right.
bullshit. It doesn't matter,
Like, the magical ills are supposed to be a certain color. They're not real.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
And then there's like, if you like D&D lore, there's the drow, like
we've covered it. We've covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But but yeah, I mean, these Hobbit people that I guess that they're the hobbits before they went to the Shire, so they're not called hobbits. They're called something else. I forget what they were called in this show. So it's I'm starting to get the gist. I'm not a Tolkien expert. I can't name all the kingdoms and all the ages.
As far as this podcast, you're the closest thing we got. So yeah.
Yeah. And like Lord of the Rings, I read the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is like really dense. It's really dense. It's a thick read. And it's full of appendices and history at the back of the book.
Is it 3 books or is it just one book just as big as fuck?
You can read them as one book, but it is like 1,000 pages. It's a haul. And then even after you get done with the book, there's like a couple hundred pages of appendixes that just references like the history and the different timelines and the different lineages. That's the thing. Like when people introduce themselves in the Lord of the Rings, it's like, I am so-and-so, son of so-and-so, daughter of this guy, daughter of that guy, cousin. They name their whole family tree whenever they introduce themselves. So it's like the Council of Elrond that happens in Fellowship of the Ring. That's like 100 pages. Just where they sit down and talk about the ring, where they all meet up and decide. Where Frodo decides I'm going to take the ring to Mount Doom. That's like 100 pages of just them talking. Basically, it's people introducing themselves for 100 pages.
Okay,
so it's a dead
shout out to Cliff. He's on the other. Sorry for this shit show in the garbage. Sir, I'm trying to read what Cliff is saying. Sorry for the shit show in the garage. Oh, in the garage. Okay.
Oh yeah. Is that what he's saying? Cliff is on. Where is that?
He's on the other page. Yeah.
Oh.
And shout out to Del Rico also. What is he talking about? Do you know what he's talking about?
What did he say?
Sorry for the shit show in the garage.
Is he talking about my toys?
Oh, the rat shit. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh well, yeah.
Appreciate that, Cliff.
Yeah. It's.
But Cliff, if you want some rat shit toys, you can just dust off. Hey, he telling you where to get them. You know.
Yeah, they're in the garbage can in front of my house.
All right. Can we move on from it's funny, like I said, I don't know shit about Lord of the Rings, can't keep up with Lord of the Rings, but gave back to me a question about fucking season 8 of the CW Flash, and I can spit that shit like it's fucking ABCs, you know?
Or fucking or X-Men, yeah. Who
right.
All the
well,
X-Men
actually,
he's fucking her, she's fucking him.
Right.
They got kids with this guy, that kid.
Allow me to diagram. Let me show you.
The X-Men family tree. Yeah.
Right. I made a PowerPoint where all right. So anyway, let's move on past that. Speaking of woke shit show, let's talk about She-Hulk. So, like I said, Eli, I actually was not going to talk about She-Hulk. I was going to just be like, okay, we talked about episode 1 of She-Hulk, and I wasn't going to talk about She-Hulk ever again on this show. But when this shit went viral, and I woke up and I saw pages that I follow that aren't even into this comic book shit posting this shit like full spoilers, like 5 o'clock in the morning, like after the show, I was like, let's talk about it. Let's get it over with. Let's go there. Okay. Now, before we get there, I do want to just talk about the actual show, the episode of the show. Now, I know this show isn't everybody cup of tea. I know humor is subjective, but me personally, Eli, this episode out of the She-Hulk shows we've seen probably had the most out loud laughters for me. There was some moments in there I was like slapping my knee in there. For instance, like the big one in there was Wong when they was about to arrest him. He was like, "I must depart." I was laughing my ass off when he did that shit. The other thing that like there are jokes in here they kind of like just slide under the radar. They just slip in there. Like anytime like She-Hulk is like walking past the guard, like the reporters, and the reporters just saying shit. You know, She-Hulk, did you get kicked out of the Avengers? And then the other reporter said, this just ends. She-Hulk got kicked out of the Avengers. I'm like, oh, that shit just happened like that. I thought this shit was funny. You know, when they had the thing about the mafia joke, did you lose your powers when the mafia hit? You know, that's reference to She-Hulk. It was another one. Oh, the other one, the big one, when they started making fun of the people that's making fun of the show. The Instagram comment section. Now people are like, oh, they're like prophets. How did they figure out that people are going to be that upset about the show? They didn't guess. They actually took real comments from people posting on the show from the Instagram page when they first announced it and just reposted the shit. So they already knew because it already happened. So, and everything they were saying is the shit that people were saying. So,
yeah, I like when she was like, "This isn't supposed to be a cameo show," even though Wong's been ever in every episode,
right?
And Neil
Bruce right. Right. Yeah. Even simple shit like when she said, like, "Oh, AB plot connecting," because I was thinking that the whole time when the dude sat down, I was like, "Oh, they connecting the AB plot," and she was like, "Read my mind." So because yeah, it was just the same thing. Now let's talk about the show. Now another thing before we actually get into the thing everybody's talking about. Now, first off, when I talked about the first episode, I was talking about how like I hope it's not one of those shows where just like bash men left and right. Because you know, he had that idiot that was in the show at the beginning of the show and just always acting. Well, here's the thing. This guy saved it for me. Like Pug is saving the show for me right now because he is pointing out that guy is an exception. He is not every dude on the show. Every dude on the show is not an idiot. Matter of fact, every dude on the show that talks to that idiot on the show calls him an idiot. So he's just out there by himself. So I like
Wong's
that.
Cool. Wong's cool.
That's what I'm saying. Wong is cool. Hell, people saying Bruce was cool, but Bruce trained her. So Bruce was cool. I know people like to shit on Bruce. Oh, they took his balls away. It's like that. No, Bruce is still Bruce. And he showed that he was still stronger than her, you know. And that's totally gonna hook up. I see it right now. Marvel, they really don't know how to write sitcoms, so they're too predictable. So that's that thing. Now here's the thing. You're looking at this guy, and the whole time I think, like, this guy looks familiar. Who the hell is this guy? What do I recognize from him? And I finally recognized who he was. He's Prometheus from Arrow. Season 5. See, I don't know Lord of the Rings. I go to CW.
Did I watch it?
I go to CW all day. Season 5, actually pretty good, Eli. You might like it. That's my thing. So that's who that guy was the whole time. I'm like, okay, cool. I recognize him. But yeah, so that's my thing about that. I'm trying to think, what is this right here? Oh, we'll come back to that. All right, so I spoiled it already, but that's where we're going for that. You already know we're going with that. So yeah, but my thing is that, okay, so we got Megan Thee Stallion. Let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion. They've been hyping up Megan Thee Stallion actually the whole week. People on, the sites that we're on, Eli, just spread who she's going to play. Like, what the fuck you mean? Who she gonna play? You think she's gonna show up and be Dr. Doom or some shit? She's gonna be Megan Thee Stallion.
I wish she would have been Dr. Doom. That would have been
right.
Awesome. Just to watch the world burn.
Oh, yeah. It's bad enough as it is already, but yeah.
All these like fucking fuckboy comic nerds. Oh,
Dr. Doom. And it ain't who cares. Megan Thee Stallion, Dr. Doom is now a black female rapper or some shit.
Ben Shapiro's head would just.
I can't wait to see it happen.
This is an outrage.
So that's my thing. So people thinking that this is the downfall of MCU. This is what the MCU jumped the shark and all the shit like that. Or they waited till Stan Lee died when this happened. Stan Lee would never stand for this. Like, really? And that's when I pull up, because that's the thing. Like, you don't know Stan Lee, because one of the last things Stan Lee did was Stripperella.
You mean Stan Lee, the guy who posed for Playgirl?
Right. That's the thing. That's what he did, starring Pamela Anderson Lee. Stan Lee was just like every other comic book fan, writer, artist / whatever. He was horny as fuck. That's all. That's what it is. So he was in this shit too. Plus, yes, okay. So She-Hulk is twerking on TV. Okay, you saying that's out of character, but in the comics, they had to jump rope naked. So, by the way, Eli, we're at 1,500 shares right now. I want to make a little sidebar right now. Shout out to everybody that's sharing it for it. Anytime you see this meme right here, it came from us. We made this shit. So it's getting shared from our page.
Leroy did.
Okay, either way, it's a group
effort. I'll take.
Yeah, team effort. But my thing is, what gets on my nerves is that people, when they screenshot it and share it to their page, also, especially when they get more links than more hits than we do. Like, is it too hard to just give people credit for the work that they did? I say that on Outright Givers page as we on like our 200 copyright strike, but that's okay. But yeah, that's all. Just give us a little credit. That's all we ask.
Yeah, Gabe. Good looking out, Gabe.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Gabe. Whatever he did.
For sharing the link. The after credit,
did he share the link? Yeah, appreciate you sharing the link. Yeah. So, and not just Gabe, anybody shares the link. Appreciate you. Yeah. So my thing is like this. So like I said, we got She-Hulk, and people are mad about She-Hulk because she did all this. Meanwhile, whenever you get other stuff like, Spider-Man dancing, Deadpool, who had a whole fucking danced on a pole, Joker, which is real cinema. This ain't comic. This is real cinema right here. Everybody love that shit. Baron Zemo last year dancing the club. Oh, that was a meme. We love that shit.
Oh yeah, we love that shit.
Yeah. Oh, Captain America's ass. Oh, we love that. That's a funny joke right here. But when it comes to this, they get offended. This offends people, Eli.
Dude, just leave that up for the rest of the show.
I'm gonna just leave that up for a second. Just let it marinate. We might get banned. I don't give a fuck. It's this last show, whatever. And yes, that is Megan Thee Stallion right there.
Is that Megan?
Yes,
damn.
That's Megan Thee Stallion right there. So yes.
I follow her.
You missed
that?
Damn,
she's going ham too. Fuck.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. So what she was doing in the
I'm
Disney,
gonna go to the bathroom, dude. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Right. No, everybody take your phone with you if you go.
I got my phone. I got my tablet with me.
Right. Anyway, let's get back over here. Let's try to concentrate. Anyway, so whatever she was doing on the Disney show and She-Hulk, that was light work. Because that's what she could really do. So my thing is this. What's my point? That's my thing, Eli. So they're offended by that. They don't want to see that. They want to. My thing is that, okay, you guys are dudes, right? And you're offended and upset about twerking.
These tough guys who that just hate woke female agenda shit. Oh, we just.
I wonder about these guys, Eli.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they had
really
man
wonder.
balls. Sound like they got soft ass baby nuts and shit.
Maybe past that, they might be gay and just don't know it. That's what I'm thinking. They hate women. We know that they hate women, so they just use all these She-Hulk and Miss Marvel stuff to just to funnel their outrage. Now, when you see twerking from Megan Thee Stallion, who is known for twerking, they're offended. Yeah, y'all might do some self-reflection, look in the mirror, stuff like that. Maybe go to a different bar than what you did before. Maybe that's where you need to be.
And it's funny because this was like the after credits sequence. I like that one about her Xeroxing the button, dude. Was like
another thing for the comic. And that's the thing people are starting to understand about. We warn people about She-Hulk that She-Hulk isn't Hulk. She's not a tortured character. She's fun. Yeah, she's fun. She likes being Hulk. She likes being, flirtatious.
Don't y'all remember we keep bringing it up, the Wizard swimsuit issue from the 90s?
She was on the first issue on the cover. They led with her.
Yes, even the Punisher was in Speedos. So
he might have had a gun in his hand.
Yeah, everyone who idolizes the Punisher, stop sharing the skull, start sharing Punisher and Speedos instead, because that's what it sounds like y'all really want, anyways.
That's what you want, yeah. Because you want America's ass. You don't want She-Hulk's ass. I get it. That's what you want. And we're not shaming anybody. We just want you to be real with yourself. That's all. Look, if you come out and because of us and with this talk we just had, thank us, ready to TV for her ass.
Put us in widescreen, man. We'll put us on the.
yeah, not us. Well, I guess we'll post. We're not posting the Mogan pick again because we might get shut down, so we're not gonna do that again. Yeah, so that's my thing. So I don't know why people getting upset, but maybe it's because it's twerking. Maybe they just don't like that dance, and people thinking that twerking is new. Twerking is not new. Twerking was invented in Africa before my people even came here, before we even brought here. It's a thing. So, and even then, twerking wasn't even new. We've been twerking since, well, not me. I don't twerk, but they call it something different. They called it pee popping. They called it percolator. They called it crybaby. It was always named something different, but it's the same thing. Miley Cyrus didn't invent it. So let you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That I think that's when I first heard of the term twerk.
I know.
Because it was like booty popping, and it was called other kinds of shit.
Yeah, just like Billy Ray Cyrus of an electric slide. No, that family has been. Let's move on.
Like Star-Lord. Remember Star-Lord beat Ronin in a dance-off.
Oh, Cliff wanted me to say. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. No, I just read what he said. Never mind. You got to read it. I'm not gonna say it.
Is he on the Facebook one?
He's on the other page. Yeah, he's on the Facebook page. I'm thinking a clip, but I'm not gonna say it. Okay, I'll be working right now. All right, so that's my thing right there. So you guys need to get over yourself, man, or do some self-reflecting because and on top of that, it was an after credit scene.
Yes.
It didn't even have a like Star-Lord did that bullshit he did as a major plot in a third act.
Yeah.
Doing the Running Man and the Michael Jackson shit against the main villain, the bad guy. And y'all love that shit. So,
yeah.
But this is no different from Baby Groot dancing to Michael Jackson. It's the same thing. But man, y'all are, I don't know, Eli. I don't know what to say about these guys.
I said, it's tribalism. We live in an age of tribalism where you're either on this side or that side. And if you're on that side, if you're on a certain side, you're supposed to hate everything on the other side. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. Like I said, if Ben Shapiro hates it, then it's probably pretty fucking cool.
Right, because he already doubled down on it. Yeah.
I also want to. And so, so this is like, this is, it's obviously fans who have no idea who She-Hulk is and the nature of those comics. I never read She-Hulk. I was a Hulk fan. I never read She-Hulk comics because they were kind of stupid.
Right.
They were
and that's how they sold them. They sold them as stupid.
She was light and fluffy and trying to be funny and shit. I was like, I couldn't get into it. So I didn't read it. Because that was the nature of her comic. She was light and fluffy, and that's what this show is. It's totally comic book accurate. It's a comedy. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. Yet all these morons are watching it and hating on it, and keep watching it and hating on it and bitching about it because, you know, I don't know what else they got to do. I mean, like,
Right.
I don't sit there and watch shit I don't like. You know, we talked about it. I didn't watch Batwoman. I gave Batwoman
Right,
4
but we didn't
episodes.
talk about Batwoman every episode.
Yeah.
You know, like why we do
Yeah.
that when we got other shit we can talk about, other shit that we like that we could talk about.
Yeah. I don't spend my time. I don't waste my time. There's too much cool shit that I want to see and read to waste my time watching shit that I don't want to. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
Why would I even put myself through that shit?
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch
just to get
Like, why?
attention, just to get hits? That's some
Is
sad
it really
shit.
that important? Like,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
You know, I need attention. I need someone to click and hit the like button on my shit because I don't like some shit. It's pretty stupid.
And even if you don't like She-Hulk, okay, you saw a meme, shit on it, move on. Don't make a 30-minute, hour-long show shitting on it just because you like, really? Breaking down this, the show's only 30 minutes. Why is your review an hour? Shitting on it. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like you got too much time. You got too much time on your hands. And so, and last thing I want to say, okay, I know a lot of you YouTubers never heard of Megan Thee Stallion before. You keep calling her, is it a stallion, a horse, Megan the Mayor? Please stop sounding as nerdy as you sound. Because first off,
is it booty pirate's treasure? What the fuck?
Right. Because damn, I don't know how to tell you. Stallion is slang for a curvaceous woman. It's been around since the 70s. Pimps made it up back then. So I don't know why. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yes, just like a brick house, we're not going to go stick our dick into a wall. No.
Right. It's a well put together woman. That's what it is. Damn. Like we live in two different Americas, Eli. We live in a different America from these assholes. I think that's what it is. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think we talked long about She-Hulk twerking and shit. I don't know. So what do we got?
Oh, there he is. Oh, he's out here. Okay. Big
he found us. He found us.
What up, Cliff?
I haven't, honestly, Cliff. I do watch him every day, but I haven't seen him on this new stuff. But I'm pretty sure he flipped out because they pretty much making fun of him on the show. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's what was going on with that. So we can move past that. Okay, we're done with She-Hulk. We're done with She-Hulk. Oh damn, I didn't put the thing up, but that's okay. We're gonna talk about Wonder Man. We're talking about Wonder Man, even though I didn't put the thing up. Really, we're going to talk about Wonder Man because there has been an announcement that, what's your boy's name? Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley is going to be in Wonder Man. So, yeah. So, that's going to be a thing.
He's not going to be Wonder Man, is he?
He's not going to be Wonder Man. We don't know who Wonder Man is going to be yet, but he's going to be in Wonder Man. So, people acting like, oh,
yeah, Wrecking Crew. Gabe talked about the Wrecking Crew. We got to see the Wrecking Crew.
See, okay, see, Gabe. I was trying not to rant, but now you're gonna make me rant. I didn't put this shit up, but Gabe, go Google Thunderball and see who's playing Thunderball. They whitewashed me, lie. They whitewashed.
Oh,
me.
did they?
They did. The Black Bruce Banner is played by some white guy, or I think he's like half Latino. I don't know, something like that. So, but yeah. And yeah, they just shit on the Wrecking Crew, man. Like, damn, the Wrecking Crew isn't that bad. But yeah. Wonder Man getting a thing. Yeah, Wonder Man is not a thing, but it will be a thing. It will be a thing, Cliff. And what I was gonna say, been played by Ben Kingsley. And people are asking, like, okay, is he gonna be the Mandarin in this? What is he gonna be in this? Like, no, he's not gonna be the Mandarin. Remember, if you remember, well, I'm not gonna say remember because nobody read Wonder Man other than me. But the thing is with Wonder Man is that he is, what I was gonna say about him. Wonder Man in the comics is an actor. Like, first he started off as a stuntman. Like, when his all time in the Avengers, he was like, well, I'm gonna go make some money in LA on Hollywood, and I can be a stuntman because I can wreck a car and just walk out of it and I'd be fine. I can just, make money as a stuntman. But then some director looked at him like, hey, you got a leading man's face, and he started starting movies. So it looks like Wonder Man TV show is going to be about Hollywood. Now, if they do like a parody on like superhero movies, I think they'd be pretty funny. But
West Coast Avengers, we can
West Coast Avengers,
Kate Bishop and
but I know a lot of people are
Hawkeye,
yeah. But I know a lot of people are getting mad at MCU for you got Thor: Love and Thunder, you got She-Hulk, and you got Wonder Man. If it's going to be a comedy coming, also like, okay, they're getting too comedic, like they double down on it. Not Wrecker, Thunderball, Why do I know the Wrecking Crew so well? Okay, so you got even on this podcast.
Were you one of these fucking dudes that like they ruined the Wrecking Crew?
I didn't. I thought in my head until I saw Thunderbolt. I was like, who the fuck is this? You know, that's when I got pissed off about that. You mean like the professor in Wakanda is playing by some white guy? Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so you got Thunderball, Bulldozer, Wrecker, and Pile Driver. Wrecker is the main guy. Wrecker is the one with the crowbar. He's white. He's a white guy. He shared his power with the other guy, and Thunderball is the black guy. Thunderball is the black Bruce Banner that knows how to do gamma better than Bruce Banner does, but he decided to become a criminal and rob banks and whatever like that. So that's my thing. That's your Wrecking Crew thing today. I didn't have a thing on the Wrecking Crew, but yeah. Power Drivers, Gay Bulldozer. Wait, what? No, Cliff. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You guys are going way deep in the Wrecking Crew.
No. Cliff is fucking with us. He's fucking with us. Yeah. And no, they're all guys, but still. Let's see. All right, let's move on past it. Hold on, let's see. I bet you Gabe Google it. Acting Wonder Man and not pacifist current Wonder Man.
And not pacifist current Wonder Man.
Yeah, Wonder Man is Wonder Man. He started off as a villain, so who knows what they do with. Yeah, I think we talked about Wonder Man. Okay, let's move on past it. I thought it was gonna be longer than that, but I think that's all we had. All right, so like I said, we're gonna move to the video game section. We're gonna move to the video game section, and actually, what I'm gonna do is that I actually bought an Xbox Series X the other day. Now, why did I buy the X instead of the S? Because the one maybe even though Eli always keep bragging about I'm part of the master race and I'm PC this and PC that. Why did I get an Xbox and they pretty much the same thing? Well, because of one thing, because of the backwards compatibility. There's some Xbox 360 games that aren't on PC. So the only way I can play them is to get an Xbox. If I'm going to play them, I'm going to get them in the biggest, baddest, boldest motherfucker that I can play it on. What do we got here? The wife said I can't be inappropriate anymore. Since when? Cliff, come on now. Does she know you? All right. Yeah. So that's the thing. So the reason that I went and got an Xbox
I'm not going to be inappropriate either, Cliff.
We have met our quota for the night. Okay.
now that his wife is listening, I don't want to say that.
Well, we're bad influences on Cliff. We're bad influences on Cliff. Okay. Oh man. All right. So now the reason I went and got an Xbox Series X is because, like I said, I want to play 360 games, old 360 games. But the thing about the Series X that the S doesn't do is that the X boosts them up 4K, 60 frames per second. It takes all the Xbox games and just make them sexy. You know, they look way better than they ever did on Xbox 360 before. And I'm like, ooh, I want that. You know, now I'm going to show you a little clip that I played at Ninja Game the other day. I streamed it on the Facebook page, like 20,000 views.
I saw some of that shit, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, the thing is that the Facebook can't even keep up with when I actually play it. It's crystal clear. None of that artifacting, lagging, none of this shit like that. But on Facebook, yeah, it's going to be there. But yeah, like it never looked that clear when I played on Xbox. When I played on Xbox in this scene right here, it was like slow down, lag. Like the Xbox 360 couldn't handle this scene right here. The Xbox Series X, that motherfucker is a beast. It handles it. You know, takes it with a smile and keeps coming. Like She-Hulk, ass clapping. Just like, give me more, you know. So what do we got here? Yeah, of course, Cliff. Oh, yeah. So, yes, that's the rest. So, like I said, I'm loving it. I was going to return it, but I'm liking it so much, I might play another game on like Arkham City or some shit like that. So, I'm going to just see. I'm going to see. I'm going to hang on to it. Even though that bitch was.
Game Pass, there's tons of shit on Game, because I got the S, and it's all Game Pass shit for me. I want to get, I've been playing nothing but Ninja Turtles. They just dropped that Ninja Turtles collection that I want to get. I'll probably get
on Game Pass
next week. Yeah. Or I don't know if it's on Game Pass, but they dropped it. I want to get it just to play all those.
Oh, like Turtles in Time and all stuff like that.
Yeah, all that shit. So. Okay. But yeah, there's tons of shit on. I think those Arkham games are even on Game Pass. You might check.
Cool. I'll check it out. So, like I said, I'm probably just gonna play like 360 games on there because if it's like a PC game, I don't know. I might play it on Xbox. I don't want to stop playing on the PC, or I might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, that being said, we can move on to the next part of the podcast.
Sure.
Okay, like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. And sorry for the two people that listened for us to do the comic review, because I checked the analytics, but there wasn't anything that dropped this week, that anything that we gave a shit about. So we're not going to have too many books this week, but we are going to knock out some, because there was two that I liked. I got 2 X series. MK is a beast.
He's got 2 series.
You got 2X. You got 2X. Two.
You got 2 Xboxes.
Damn, Cliff.
One for the bathroom, in the bathroom and shit.
Damn, Jay-Z. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Eli, I'm gonna let you go first. We're gonna start off the day. Yeah, you lead us off, because
All right.
I need to prepare.
Well, I prepared.
Hmm.
So I'll do Obi-Wan number 4. Is it?
This the one with Anakin on the cover, right? I don't know what was going on with that, but
Yeah, it's so this is just a book, a simple like mini series to I think to coincide with the show. It's just Obi-Wan reflecting on different times in his life, different periods in his life when he was a youngling, when he was, in the Jedi Order, and now we're focusing on the Clone Wars. This one is about when him and Anakin had to go find a rogue general that went basically insane and went AWOL and went to some planet and and has been just going nuts and killing like everybody indiscriminately. Just went insane. Some mad general that went AWOL and went insane. It's basically Apocalypse Now. So they basically been told, go find this guy and eliminate him on sight. And Anakin's like, what? We're not fucking assassins. We're not murderers. Every man should deserve a chance, a second chance, which is weird coming. It's coming from Anakin. Anakin said this. So they basically go to this planet, and like I said, it's just like Apocalypse Now or A Heart of Darkness. They go find, he's in some dark canyon. He's got all these followers that lead him, and there he is in the shadows. The horror. And they say, hey, you're supposed to come with us. We know you went AWOL and all this shit. And he just basically they're talking to him, and then just find out how insane he went. That he's been traumatized by the war. That he was at some battle, some wicked battle where a bunch of dudes got killed, a bunch of people got killed. And it's basically scarred him. And ever since then, he took off. He disappeared after this battle. And he talks about, he's nuts. He's going on about how there's no point to life, that the darkness is everlasting, and light always ends, and as always darkness remains. All this, what a cruel world, let's toss ourselves into the abyss type of ambience. But then Obi-Wan counters him. Well, hey, light, there's always some light. The opposite of light is opposite of darkness is light. And starts basically arguing with them and countering his like depression or whatever, and finally the guy gets mad and charges at Obi-Wan, and Anakin stabs him, kills him.
Oh damn. Okay.
And that's about it. This is poor guy, and basically he's reflecting on how, and like I said, it's Obi-Wan reflecting on this memory and reflecting on how hard times are hard to get over, and the darkness doesn't last, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel and all that. So it's kind of a poignant little story that I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Like, it's a shout out to like a total influence of Apocalypse Now. And I keep mentioning there's a book called Shatterpoint, which has got Mace Windu, same sort of plot. It's basically Apocalypse Now with Mace Windu. He goes, his Padawan, his ex-Padawan went rogue and took off and is on some jungle planet going insane and leads an army of cult followers and shit. And Mace Windu goes back to this planet to go find his ex-Padawan who went insane. And it's basically Apocalypse Now. It's pretty cool. It was one of the old novels. Don't know if it's canon anymore, but it was one of the better books that I've read out of the Clone Wars series. So yeah, this was pretty cool. I think there's only one more issue in this Obi-Wan series. So yeah, I'm sticking with it. 4 out of 5.
Cool. Okay. All right. Next book we're going to do. First book I'm going to do is X-Men number 14. Like I said, I fell off on the X-Men book, but there's a reason I read this book. Even though I haven't kept up with the X-Men story, and even though it's one of those X tie-ins. So in this book, Cyclops gets judged by the Celestial. And we find out whether or not Cyclops was right. Hashtag, what do we got here? Just found out Mace had a brother.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't know that.
I didn't know there was a thing either. So that's what's going on to start out. So it's pretty much like a one-shot story. So we don't have to know, because like I said, I don't know what was going on with those stories to begin with. But that's what's going on right now. So we'll go from there. So yeah, let's get to it. Boom. All right. So book starts off with Cyclops. Oh, and it actually starts off in the Daily Bugle. I think it's the Daily Bugle. And then basically the first thing they say is lose the gay angle. And like, why are you talking about the gay angle? Because his thing is actually an Iceman story. And if he's saying like, look, you ain't got to add the gay shit in there. Just leave it mutant. Just leave it mutant, and that's enough, because even that's too much for our story right now. Don't worry. Before everybody starts celebrating and throwing cake and candy like Marvel is not woke anymore, it's going to come back circle. It's going to circle back around. So we're going to get to it. So the book starts off with Cyclops and magic in space, because they found some terrorists that like hijacked like a Nova ship and they like fire something into the sun. So they go on this ship and they find these guys and they start attacking them and they beat the shit out of them. They're gonna, it's like 5-1. We got these guys. And Cyclops like, oh really? And he like does some shit where he bounce his psychic beam or his optic beams off each other's helmets, knock them off, shit like that. Like, oh, you just showing off now. He like, man, I've been fighting Magneto since I was 16. I know how to bounce a optic beam off a helmet, So basically, like, so what did you guys do? You're like, we put a flare generator into the sun. It's going to set off a flare that is going to go all the way to your Earth, and it's going to be an extinction level event that's going to kill everybody on your planet. So they're like, oh shit. So basically, X-Men, you have only, and the name of the story is 8 minutes till death. Why is it called 8 minutes to death? Because the sun from the Earth is 8 light years away. I think 8 minutes away in light years term or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some shit like that. So it take like light 8 minutes from the sun to hit Earth. So that's what we call 8 minutes to death. So that's going on right now. So Jean Grey gets a psychic link from Cyclops. She's like, okay, we got trouble. Meanwhile, they're in the middle of their Avengers shit right now. They're fighting Eternals. So, okay, so the Earth is going to be blown up in 8 minutes. Meanwhile, we're fighting the Eternals. So, damn. Okay, so Bobby, I need you to do something. She calls Iceman. Iceman like, I need you to go to space. She's like, wait, what? Yeah, I need you to go to space and stop a solar flare from destroying the Earth. She's like, okay. So she psychically flies him to space, and he can see the solar flare from the atmosphere. You're like, oh shit. So okay, I'm gonna make a big ice density thing that'll catch the sun. But the thing is, as soon as the solar flare hits, this big ice thing I made is going to collapse, and if it hits the Earth, it's going to destroy a city. So somebody needs to take care of that shit. She's like, don't worry, I got somebody. Firestar, go with Iceman. So that's why I picked up the book, Eli. It's an Amazing Friends reunion.
Oh, okay.
That's why I got it.
And
yeah, all this shit like that. So you got so it's an Iceman Firestar team up. That's what it is right there. So she's like, okay. She goes do her thing. She flies Chicago because apparently Iceman is like right over Chicago. So she's like, okay, when he does his thing, I'm gonna catch the ice beam, melt them so it won't destroy Chicago. That's the thing. So meanwhile, she like an Iceman like, oh, and get Forge on the phone too, because Forge need to work out the mathematics so I know how deep to make this shit. And meanwhile, Forge is like writing the formula on the beach. He like, don't tell me to ever get my shit together. I always have my shit together.
Forge, the most tech savvy motherfucker, and he's using a stick.
I mean, because that's how savvy he is. That's all he needs.
Savvy. I didn't mean to use the word savvy.
Well, we know what you meant, but but anyway, Forge is on this shit. Oh man. So he uploads it like, okay, this is a calculation. This I need to make this shit so the solar flare won't go through the ice beam. He was like, cool, got it. And meanwhile he's skating on the atmosphere and shit like that and making an ice beam. Magic does some shit. It's rescues some astronauts before they get destroyed. So yeah, and meanwhile the solar flares come, it hits, boom, blows up. So, but the thing is, it's coming back. So so Firestorm catches all the ice beams before it destroys Chicago and shit like that. Oh, meanwhile, she sends Sync and Rogue in there to like mimic Firestar's powers to help out, you know. So Iceman like regenerates himself because it's another another flare coming, and he like, you know, does everything he's got to make sure it doesn't come, and boom, blows it up too. He like, oh, I'm about to hit the earth. Somebody better catch me. He's falling, but he's just like gently falling. He sees Firestar. He's like, sup. You know, she didn't even catch him, and then he just gets back on here and just starts skating back to the earth too. Like, and then he just falls to the earth. They high five each other. Good job. And meanwhile, since there's like fire and ice, you know, they make like a rainbow while they fall to the earth. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, that's when a reporter comes and gets things. You're like, yeah, I can't talk right now. The Eternals about to destroy our island right now, so I got to go back and handle that shit. But you know what? I'll give you an interview. So she gives a quick interview. Meanwhile, while Magic writes, Magic was here over the "God hates muties" sign and shit. You know, so she gives a blurb. You know, talks, and that's what you say. Look, and that's what she says. Look, if you don't leave the fact that he is a gay mutant in there, I'm not writing this article. So you either take it or leave it. You're like, well, shit, fine, I'll do it. Why did everybody become so judgmental? And that's when we go to the Celestial, and that's when Cyclops walks in. He was like, you know why I'm here. I want to be judged right now. Just go ahead and tell me what it is, and I'll figure it out. And he looks at it. He was like, Cyclops from Krakoa. And he looks around. You have been judged wisely or some shit. Anyway, Cyclops passed. So Cyclops was right in everything he's done. Even that bullshit he did where he left his wife, you know, when he tried to kill the Avengers. He's right.
I don't know any of this shit, dude. You're getting deep. Lord of the Rings.
That's some deep X-Men. Like any X-Men
You're going
fan,
token deep into the X-Men.
You're token deep. Like any, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know Tolkien, real literature, but I know this X-Men shit. Where he fathered Cable and shit. I know that shit. So yeah. What do we got? Really? Getting no voted for the new team. Firestar the X-Men now. I know she was on the team.
Shit? Yeah,
that was at the gala.
Yeah, like
live Thunderbolt, man.
Thunderbird. Yeah, they brought him back.
Thunderbird's back. Yeah,
Krakoa, man. That's that.
But Thunderbird's on Mars, I think. Yeah, he's on Mars.
Yeah, he's on Mars, like a bouncer on Mars. Everyone.
Yeah, I was like, man, where's Spider-Man? But what could Spider-Man do? They in space, so it's really nothing Spider-Man could have done anyway if he showed up. So, but it would have been nice, you know. I don't know, cameo or something. You're right. So it could have been cameo, but yeah, that's all I got. So what does she got?
Oh, it was a slow week.
I mean, I got another one. I got another one, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I got one more. It was a slow week. There wasn't shit out that I really gave a shit about. Mm-hmm. So this was free on Comixology. So I gave it a whirl.
Now here's the thing. Now if you stick with it, because I didn't know this is what you were reviewing. So if you stick with it, I'll jump on it. Because like I said, it's free. So
yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. This is a horror. It's a horror book. It's free on Comixology. Blood Oath #1, written by Rob Hart, I believe. This is basically gangsters in the Prohibition era with vampires. There's this woman. She owns a farm, but she also smuggles booze for gangsters. So she's stashing the hooch. And then her sister gets attacked by first of all, she gets a warning. This dude comes in and is like, yo, man, we need to have muscle around your farm because shit's going down. And she's like, I don't want any goons on my land, you know, peeping around my shit. So no, there's a new gang in town. They've been causing a lot of shit, making waves, and you're gonna need we gotta have guards here guarding the stash. And then her sister ends up getting like attacked. Her and her boyfriend getting attacked. And it turns out that they were attacked by this rival gang, and they turn out to be vampires. So basically, vampire mobsters, basically. Pretty cool. I mean, like here, I shared the page that had the violence and the gore. As you can see, it goes there. It goes a little hard. So, and that's right up my alley. So yeah, as you know, it's free on Comixology. I checked it out, and it was pretty cool. A fun little campy read, gangsters with vampires. So 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Okay.
If it's free,
if you stick with it, I'll jump on the bandwagon. I'll jump on. I'll read the next one because it's free. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fun little horror book, just in time.
Yeah, because I was looking for a third book. Yeah. That's about Andor.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'm a little weary.
Yeah.
I'm a little weary after Boba Fett, but I'll check it out.
Boba Fett won an Emmy.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, it won an Emmy. So yeah. Special effects, which honestly it's deserved. It deserved it. So yeah. What do we got? Oh, last book I got. I'm going to do it's a weird one. I'm going to do Thunderbolts #1.
I almost got this, but then I looked at the lineup and I don't care.
You know what? That's the whole point of the book. I'm gonna tell you because it's a twist.
Am I one of those guys commenting that they're remaking?
You see the same yet? We did. Yeah.
No, he did.
I did. Well, I did. My fault. Not a collective, but yeah. But yeah, let's talk about Thunderbolts. Okay, so basically what's going on with this book? Brand new book. They relaunched it. There's a new team, like we said, a bunch of new people you don't know about, and that's kind of the whole point of the book. So we'll get to it. Like I said, brand new book. Hawkeye and is leading the book. So yeah, so basically the book starts off Hawkeye's doing his Hawkeye shit. He's arrowing it up and stuff like that. Everything is a bullseye. I'm good. I'm best. But Hawkeye isn't on the team. The Avengers kicked him out. Obviously, he did some bullshit like a couple years ago, and they don't fuck him anymore. So he's on the phone calling the West Coast Avengers, and they don't call his phone either. He's trying to reform the West Coast Avengers again, and they don't call him, And they were like, well, have you talked to your ex-wife, Bobby? Because like I say, in the comics, his wife, him and his wife are divorced. Not like in MCU, in the comics, they're divorced, So he gets a phone call. He gets a phone call from Luke Cage. He was like, Luke Cage, Clint, have you heard? He's like, I don't even watch the news, man. If Tasha don't tell me, I don't listen to news. He was like, well, I'm mayor, right? They're like, wait, you're mayor of New York? Yeah, I'm mayor of New York, and I got a job for you. Yeah, so that carryover from Devil's Reign.
The Devil's Reign,
this is. Yeah, this is a follow-up for Devil's Reign. So he was like, I need you to come to New York right now because I got a job for you. So he goes to New York. But we cut to a couple days later when the team is already formed, the Thunderbolts, and they say some shit like Justice Like Lightning, whatever like that. And that's your team right there. You don't know these people. You don't need to know these people. Let's keep moving.
Who's that? Is that a Cable? Which Cable? Who is that?
Not Cable. It's not Cable. That's his name. Not Cable.
It's not Kid Cable.
Not Kid Cable. He's just not Cable. He's DirecTV. Let's call him that. Yeah. Yeah. So the team, they basically show up with the reason they're here because it's a prison escape. Prison escape is a bunch of Kingpin's old Thunderbolts team that he was using to terrorize everybody. A bunch of psychotic supervillains. They're running revolutions. So basically, they're here to stop them. And basically, you got who's on that team. You got Electro. Who else? Some other people on there also. But anyway, that's America Chavez.
Is that Monica?
No, that's America Chavez.
Oh, no, yeah, I heard that. But who is it? Did I see Monica back there?
No, that's a dude.
No, on the other panel. I know that's a dude.
Right. No, that's America Chavez. Yeah. That's right. They just draw her different shades of complexion each issue. I don't know why. They're not consistent. They never consistent with her. So we cut to Luke Cage basically hiring Clint, and Clint look, I'm starting a new team. I want you to lead my team. And he was like, because basically since Wilson Fisk, when Kingpin, when he was governor, he outlawed superheroes in New York. And I'm trying to get it overturned, but the problem is the people in New York really like that law. So it's kind of hard because the people in New York want it done. So the only way we can get superheroes back in New York is to have them under the Thunderbolts team, because the Thunderbolts was the only team he legalized. So as long as you're a Thunderbolt, you can be a superhero. You're like, cool. All right. And the reason I want you to do it, Clint, because you were already a member of the Thunderbolts at one time, and I can't run the Thunderbolts because I'm mayor of New York. So you're the only person I can get to do this. And that's when Clint is like, okay, cool. I got some people. I got a team. Let's call Wonder Man. Let's call Rhodey. Let's call Wanda, Vision. Let's get the band back together. Let's do it. Tigra. Let's get them all back together. He like, slow your roll. We can't do that because we already have a roster filled out, and the roster is based on not only abilities, but demographic. So they're basing the team on the demographic of what they think, the public will like. I was like, that's clever. That's clever. Okay. So you got the old Thunderbolts.
So everyone
team.
who bitches about woke shit, this is
a commentary. Oh, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Like, who's paying for this shit? That's why.
Right. So anyway, so you got the old Thunderbolts versus the new Thunderbolts kicking the shit out of each other. Some spider chick and Taskmaster. It looked like he's about to kick America Chavez's ass. She just slapped the shit out of his face. Taskmaster pulls out a gun, shoots a point blank range. She just smiles and like, what the fuck was that?
Damn.
So obviously he got his ass kicked.
That's
so we
cool.
go back to what they were doing before. So Clint's looking at his new team. He's like, okay, we got America Chavez. He's like, okay, America Chavez, super strong, teleport, flight. Okay, like that. We need somebody on the team. She's like, yes. And she's popular with the Latinx community. I'm like, see, that's where you're fucked up right there. Because
it's
first
like
off,
it's like the boys.
It's like the boys, yeah. Because first off, I do want to say that Latino community don't like being called Latinx. That tells you right there, you're out of touch. They hate that shit. What else we say? We got my boy Power Man. Power Man is like Luke Cage and Iron Fist if they had a baby or whatever. They didn't, but I'm just saying they did. And then that guy, not Cable, DirecTV. He's like, who's his name? His name is Guts and Glory. They're like, okay, what's his powers? It's classified. Where'd he come from? It's classified. How do you know him? It's classified. We see demographic wise, they like a man of mystery. So that's why he's on the team. Yeah. So who else you guys? So they keep tearing up shit. Oh yeah, Abomination shows up. Right. This was funny because Gus and Glory got the power to like sense shit, and so he like somebody's big coming. They're like, oh shit. So they got to fight the Abomination. And then that's where they all get ready, and that's when Guts and Glory like throws some shit, shoots them. None of that shit works. Abomination just laughs that shit off. He grenades them. It doesn't matter. And that's when, okay, so remember Purple Man's kids. So one of his kids' name is Persuasion.
Yeah.
So she's got Purple Man's powers and shit like that. So she's like one of the mission like that. And that's when, so she's like, okay, everybody stand back. I got Abomination. I got him. So she like, hey, you Abomination, punch yourself in the dick. So he does that. And they catch it on TV. And she like, again. He keeps punching himself in the dick until he just can't stand up anymore. They're like, well, that's it.
Wait till that shit happens on She-Hulk. Oh man,
right.
They're gonna be so mad.
they giving him ideas. And that's when and US Agent is on the team also. So Clint Barton is just like, so Hawkeye like, I want to get US Agent back for this shit he did to me on Avengers West Coast.
See, they got the one white guy who's an asshole. That's gonna make him really lose their shit.
Right. He's the one white guy on the team. Like, okay, so
Hawkeye's in charge, right?
Hawkeye's in charge. You're right. The white guy's in charge.
White man
the white guy's in charge.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. So you have your demographic. You got all your bases covered, but the white guy's in charge. So you can't get too mad about that.
Yeah. It's like so
anyway, U.S. Agent John Walker and Clint, face off against each other. They beat shit at each other. And then like the Thunderbolts come, the good Thunderbolts come in and take him out. They're like, okay, cool, he's done. So who's left? So they do some more fighting. They beat some more people up. Yeah. Oh, and then Electro. So they made a girl Electro. I don't know what the fuck.
Well, fuck this shit. Fuck
right.
this
I'm not reading this shit. So she just starts kicking the shit out of everybody. She's like, y'all, and I got extra power left over. And that's when, right before she can kill everybody, she gets scooped up by Monica Rambeau. I can take care of your power right there. So she had the power to just absorb all Electro's powers anyway. So she's done.
I thought I saw her on the cover. That's why I thought.
She's on the cover. Yes, like she was the first person on the cover. There's reason for that also. So anyway, Monica Rambeau takes out Electro, done, and they all go meet back with Luke Cage. And meanwhile, they destroyed the building that the other Thunderbolts in. So they created all kind of, destruction and collapse of property, stuff like that. So yeah. So Luke Cage, doing the old,
Sweet.
black boss thing that everybody, you're making tearing up the city, handle you're gonna be, all this shit like that. Sweet Christmas. He's yelling at Clint, you get all this destruction, millions of dollars. Taxpayers got to pay for it.
Like the 80s cop movies.
Every 80s cop movie, Beverly Hills Cop, he's doing that shit. Yeah. I got
You
the
know how much
governor up
damage he
my
caused
ass.
the city? Axel
Right.
Foley.
He's chewing my nuts off right now, and you know all this shit like that, yelling at him. He was like, "Look, he like Clint, just go home, get the hell out of here," you know. So he kicks Clint out. You know,
Did you say chewing your nuts?
it was. I think I saw somewhere where somebody said it like, "I got the city council chewing my nuts off right now because of the
thought it was
bullshit
ass.
you did."
He
One
said-
of them, I could
he's
chew
like,
my ass, chew my nuts.
Are you
Something.
talking about Beverly Hills Cop?
One of it was some movie I saw where they said that shit.
I think he said chewing my ass out. You can see I ain't got no ass left.
That's what it was. I'm getting my movies confused. He did
And then
say that shit.
And then Axl Rose says, "You got some ass left or something."
Oh, that's what I got it
Don't-
confused with Last Action Hero. They say this shit Last
Don't
Action Hero.
fuck
That's
with
what
me, Foley.
Basically, he doing that shit right now. The governor's up my ass right now, you know. So he was like, anyway, he like, Clint, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna talk to Monica Rambeau, and I'm gonna just talk to her to see if she wants to join the team. I'm gonna just ask her. So, and then they just sit there and talk, and then he starts yelling at Monica. He was like, "Why the hell you do that? Why I asked you to join this team a month ago, and you turned me down. Now you just show up all of a sudden." He was like, "Well, people were in trouble." He was like, "Well, damn. Well, you know I didn't want Clint to run this team. He's an idiot. I want you to run this team. I want you to run the team to begin with, you know. So look, why don't you just join the team, be the leader, be the silent leader, and just watch him to make sure he doesn't fuck up. Can you do that for me?" And she's like, "I'll think about it." So yeah, so that's the thing.
Who
So
wrote this?
Monica is the real leader, even though Clint is the leader. You know,
He's the face.
he's the face, yeah. And then some other CW shit where everybody's having personal problems and shit like that. I don't care. Yeah, and Clint's got an evil dark side. Yeah, so that's the book. So yeah, so that's Thunderbolts 4. So it wasn't a bad book. It was an interesting premise.
It sounds fun. It sounds fun.
Yeah, it was an interesting premise. Will I stick with it? Don't know if I stick with it, but it was at least an interesting premise. It does feel like it's flipping on its ear about everybody talking about the demographic and diversity and all this shit like that. And they were like, no, let's just make a book that's making fun of that.
Yeah.
You know,
And that
so.
seems fun. Yeah.
Is this a book with that new character? No. Okay, let's talk about Snowflake and Snowball and Safe Space. Okay, so Gabe, that was going to be the new Warriors. So when that news came out and it hit all over the news circuits about they had this transgender new black twins called Snowflake and Safe Space, they fired the guy that made that shit and they canceled the book. So that book is never coming out, you know. So that's that. So yeah, that's all I got. So
Yeah, me too. I'm booked out.
I'm booked out. Sorry, we would have had more books. That's all we got.
Yeah, I was eyeing that Thunderbolts, but there were a bunch of heroes. And
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just because there was nothing else.
yeah,
out.
because
So
there was
like,
nothing.
yeah.
There was nothing. I mean,
Because I just assumed it was going to be a shit book, and I was actually like, that was actually not bad, you know. Yeah. So, Thor: Love and Thunder drops this week on Disney Plus. So for those that haven't seen it, or people that hate the movie and want to hate watch it again, there you go. You know, Pinocchio drops also. You get to see it then.
I
Let's
might
see.
check that out.
Yeah, might
I
check it
would
out from there. Let's see. Hey, y'all reading? No, but I'm hearing it's good. I'm hearing it's good. It's Al Ewing. So yeah. Great show, guy. Peace
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks
it,
for
Cliff.
hanging, Cliff.
Miss Cliff, we're sorry. We apologize. We won't post any more Megan Thee Stallion twerk videos for the rest of this episode. So yeah. So yeah, we'll come back next week and we'll hit you up with something else. We'll go from there. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
OG Parker.
And if the beat live, you know Lil Ju made it. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Post me a pic, finna make me a profit. When the liquor hit, then the bitch get toxic.
Why the fuck you in the club when niggas wild?
I've been lit since brunch, that shit. Order 42 for the table, let's pop shit. Missionaire or doggy style on my top shit. Pussy ass niggas hating on me from the closet. Hoes trying to call me a snake, shit. I guess I can relate, cause a bitch spit a whole lot of venom. And since these hoes all rats, when they come around me, all I see is a whole lot of dinner. I walk around the house butt naked and I stop at air mirror just to stare at my own posterior. I don't give a fuck who talk behind my back, cause the bitch knew better than to let me hear. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees, hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Hoes said they wish a bitch would, and I'm a genie. Bitch so hot, gotta stay in bikinis. He got a girl, but he keep begging to see me. I love it when a nigga got a mouth full of BBs. No, I'm not a patient, better let him treat me. I gotta be a doctor, how I'm ordering CCs. Go to your place, no face, no case. 99% tint in a blacked out race. I remember hoes used to clap for me happily. Now I'm bossed up and them same hoes mad at me. Acting like they riding whole time trying to pass me. Watching me go through it, still trying to drag me. Acting like you winning if you think about it actually. Are they supporting you or really just attacking me? I don't give a fuck about a blog trying to bash me. I'm the shit per the Recording Academy. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees, hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Drinking out the motherfucking bottle on my thigh shit. Everything I eat goes straight to my pockets. 2021, finna graduate college. Got girl shit, I'm a real hot topic. Fucking on a nigga, make him sing on some pop shit. I need a real headbang on some rock shit. Pussy like crack when it hit it like dope. Got a real hot box, but a bitch don't smoke. Hot girl, but I'm still the coldest. Hey, I'm the big homie, but I ain't the oldest. Bitch dry hating, trying to get noticed. Man, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Look, how many bitches lying if they say they boss is better? They really puppets, so I really gotta go at your petter. I'm really talking, but it really can apply to whoever. My pen a freak, it'll go after a bitch or a nigga. Big bang, take little bang, bitch, add it up. Hoes taking shots, but they ain't in my caliber book. But I squeeze a little head in my calendar, looking in the mirror like, damn, I'm bragging up. LVs, double C's, Birkins, I'm working. My chain ain't hitting if a bitch ain't hurting. Look, I ain't even finna argue with a bitch. One thing I know, two things for certain. None of these hoes saying shit to my face, and none of these hoes finna see me at the bank. And I'ma keep talking all the shit that I want. Now damn, one of these hoes come tell me I can't. We ain't even speaking if the nigga ain't spinning. He could never say that I was one of his women. I don't even let niggas know I stay. I be damn if you think you popping up on this pimpin'. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees, hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees.
OG Parker.
And if the beat live, you know Lil Ju made